PSD EdTech Coaches Podcast, Season 3, Episode 3. It's time to renew thyself.
Welcome to the PSD EdTech Coaches Podcast, a podcast for educators by educators that love to equip teachers, ponder, and discuss current issues and climate in education.
With your hosts, Melissa Shields, Jeri Sloan, and Dan Hopman. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be listening. Welcome in. I'm Dan Hopman, one of your instructional coaches in the Palmdale School District, with my co-hosts, Melissa Shields and Jeri Sloan.
Hi. Happy festival time, everybody.
And we're very lucky today, joining us in studio, fresh from the Mouse House, Steve Stuckey.
Hi, how's it going today, guys?
Oh, it's already been one of those days. I'm glad that you could make the trek out to join us.
Well, you know, being able to go to Disneyland midweek, priceless.
I don't think it was priceless. I think it was probably pretty expensive.
It's always expensive.
Start saving now for your retirement, folks.
No kidding. Well,
Especially if you have a wife who loves Disneyland.
how many times have you been to Disneyland now that you've been retired?
Twice.
Twice? That's like too many times.
That's two more times than I have been in the last 5 years at least.
That's two more times than I've been in the last 20 years. So
I understand.
Well, my friends, colleagues, fellow teachers, we are, as of this recording, 1 week away from winter break.
You guys are.
You guys are, that's right.
I'm on winter break.
That's right. The second of our long-term breaks is upon us. A period of time that we can actually be on a normal schedule, maybe sleep and get up at a normal time, maybe go potty whenever we want to.
ooh, that's a big one.
By the way, that's the best thing about retirement, period,
I'm sure.
is that you can go when you need to go.
Whenever you want to.
I don't have to call someone to watch my class.
yeah.
You don't have anybody watching Kathy while you go to the bathroom?
No.
Okay, that's good.
No.
It's time to take some time to relax, which is always nice. There has been a lot of talk about SEL in the classroom for our students. We have talked about this on the podcast many times. One of the times we actually talked to Ronald Smothers, one of our psychologists in the district. One of the things we talked about with Ronald was self-care, taking time for yourself to make sure that you can take care of your kids.
Maybe you should all go back and listen to those podcasts.
Yes,
Because they're all up on YouTube
they are.
waiting to be listened to.
They are. In fact, that one was season 2, episode 5. I went back and listened to it so I could actually say that because I want to make sure I quoted him correctly. And what he said is to take time for yourself. And I know that's hard because it sometimes feels selfish to take time for ourselves. So during this winter break, I want you to think about this. Take some time to read the book you've been wanting to read, or stare at it while it sits on your end table and watch Netflix instead. That's okay too. So if you're going to watch Netflix, binge the show that everyone's been watching and telling you about. Take the time. Take the walk that everyone's been telling you should take. Enjoy the scenery. It's about you. It's about you recharging yourself, renewing thyself, which is what our topic for today is. So Jeri, how are you going to renew yourself over our break?
Well, I normally talk about the outdoors and walking and breathing and looking up at the sky. I just love all that, listening to the birds. That's my main thing. However, anybody who knows me now realizes that I'll be spending a lot of time making animal sounds and giggling with my little man Jasper, who lives up north. And we'll be enjoying dirt and birds and animals, and he's turning 17 months, so it'll be my little baby spa. It'll be fun.
Melissa, what about you?
You know, I haven't had a moment to think about what I would do if I had a minute. So
Netflix and
I don't have Netflix. It would be
Amazon
more like
Prime
a Hulu
and-
or Amazon. But, actually when I think about taking time for myself, and there is that first thought of guilt, but honestly, like getting out of the house by myself and like going to have a cup of coffee and just sitting and watching outside. I know it's going to be cold, but sometimes just having a moment to myself it's quite nice, and I don't feel too guilty. Oh, gotcha. Okay. I'm talking all over the place.
That's okay.
So I think it's just taking those little moments and either reading, not picking up a device for sure, because that somehow adds to my anxiety. But just, I don't know, appreciating things, try to appreciate things.
And Steve, now you're practicing self-care 24/7. You're lucky. So looking back in retrospect,
I don't sleep in.
I don't think you've ever slept in.
But I want to.
Yeah.
But I have not slept in once.
Not once, huh?
But you're not setting alarms.
No.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Well, it is set for 6 o'clock automatically with the Apple Watch, to track your sleep and all of that business. But I always wake up before the alarm.
So, I can't wait for no alarms. That's for me. But, looking in hindsight, over the last, 30 plus years of your career, what now do you look back and thought, man, I wish I had done this for myself?
Well, I'm sure I'm not the only one, because teachers are probably the worst at taking time for themselves, even summertime, because you're always thinking about the job, what you got coming up, what you want to do differently. And as you get to the holidays, luckily, at least in Palmdale for quite a few years, we've ended a semester coming up on that Christmas break. So there's a natural break in which your grading's supposed to be done, basically. I think you probably have until January to get the report cards done.
Correct.
And there are times, and I've done it too, where I've waited until the middle of my break or right before I had to get them in, and then I get all stressed. So in hindsight, with my perfect 20/20 vision that I have, looking back, I would make sure a couple things, that all my grading would be done, and that I would actually be planned out for the new year at least 1 or 2 weeks ahead, so that when I get back, I don't even have to worry about working on that. How do you put down that? It's hard to shut down the teaching machine, but if I can do that right at the break and everything's ready to go when I get back, life is going to be a whole lot better.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people ask me, what do you do when you're on break? And for me, it's always getting to know my family again, because I see them from about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock until the rest of the night, which for my kids is usually around 8. So I get to see my kids 4 hours a day. So for me, it's always getting to know my kids again. For me, it's going to be working around the house. It's going to be doing some of the things that my wife's been asking me to do for quite a while. Now that we're not on quarantine, I've got a little less time to get things done. But one thing my oldest is turning 13 in February. And so he keeps saying, Dad, I'm that much closer to being out of the house. I'm that much closer to going to college. So I know.
Can I borrow the keys to the car?
No, I'm not. See, that one I'm not ready for it at all. But one of the things I am going to try to enjoy is doing things with my kids. So one of the things over the last break over Thanksgiving, we put up a dartboard. So just in there playing darts with the kids and beating them. Teaching them how to lose.
I would tell any teacher coming up upon that Friday is to walk out of your classroom with nothing in your hands. Ditch all the paperwork, ditch the grading, avoid lesson planning during your break. Walk out with nothing.
Just the Starbucks cards and the little gifts.
Well, there's something to it
yes, anything like that.
Starbucks cards that they give you as you walk out. But there's something to it about walking out, clean from the end of a semester and starting clean from the beginning of a semester. I think it allows you to. I think it allows that renew of your mind, the renewness of your mind, if you will, to really be ready for the long haul. Because you hit January and it's like, wow, May is so far away.
I think it was important for me too, is like, why am I here? What's my goal? And I can look at the big picture better, which is good, because that's ultimately going to make me feel better and the students, like not all the little details.
But we also know that we're teachers, and we know that it's really hard to shut things off.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's also an opportunity to maybe look at some new things.
Well, I would also say this: don't start anything big and new before the break, because you don't want that hanging over you and maybe thinking about, well, I've already collected this, I need to grade it. You know how it goes. And even if you do have things to grade, I would say just leave them on the desk. The kids aren't going to lose any sleep about not getting a grade back during the middle of the break. As a matter of fact, don't even answer the emails from anybody, school-related or work-related.
Maybe we need to put out a video on how to turn on your vacation message.
Vacation. I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I
Vacation
think I
settings.
made a video of that back
bet
when I
it's
was
there.
still up here. It might be on our YouTube channel.
So I'll probably have to shoot that out for sure. And I think that's an important thing is, and I know, and nothing gets admin because I know a lot of the admins still continue to work over the break, but maybe that, I need to have that vacation reminder on so that way I know I don't need to look at it. Maybe if I'm feeling up to it, maybe I'll look.
Yeah, everybody gets a little message then that says, I'm on vacation. And they go, oh, they can feel guilty now that they
suck.
emailed you while you're on vacation.
I forgot teachers have days off. Oh, they're horrible.
That's right.
But Steve's right though about starting something new. There's nothing like trying to start something new a week or two before you go on break, and then what happens with the kids over break?
No.
They forget it. You got to start all over anyway.
Make your life easy next week as you're coming into those last couple days. If you're going to do anything new, maybe introduce a new Edu protocol or something like that.
There you go.
That you want to start using effectively come January so that they already have some background on it and there's hardly any reteaching.
Yeah.
And you're already, if you've done Edu protocols, you know that your planning is done. You just change the content.
Be a great time to just dabble a little and see what it's like because, everyone's going to have a good time with it maybe or try something and there's no
No stress about it.
stress, yeah.
We always used to take at the time right before Christmas break, the time like right before spring break, and then the time right before summer break to try new things for the next year or for the
Right
next
after
day.
testing is over.
Yeah, because it was a great opportunity to see, okay, how can I tweak this? How can I do that? Or how can I have fun with this and still make it meaningful? That was always fun for us.
So you said something earlier that it's been bouncing around in my brain since you said it, and I don't think we can emphasize it enough. So we have the 3 weeks off, and you mentioned, or one of you mentioned, about maybe plan that. Oh, Steve, I think you said maybe plan for that first week or two. Just get a couple of things going in your lesson plan because, I cannot even tell you how many times I didn't do that, and that whole week. Then it was 2 weeks back in the day. That whole week before you come back, like high stress level because I've got to have some time, but I'm supposed to be, enjoying my family, but I don't want to be stressed out that first 2 days of school. And
What's the most popular meme that you see on social media as you get to the end of winter break?
I don't know.
With the teacher going, there's nothing like a worried teacher going into Monday.
Oh, yeah.
If you're planned, then Sunday night is just another night. You can wake up Monday morning ready to go. There's no worry for you whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
Well, I could tell you, and my wife was a planner. She probably would have a month planned ahead in her classroom. But Sunday nights were still stressful knowing that Monday is coming in. Mm-hmm. So imagine if you're not planned at all.
Oh, geez.
It's just
Well-
that whole last week. You don't want to lose that whole last week. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only person
No,
who
I'm
freaks out
I'm
about
sure there's
what.
plenty of people. And when that weekend comes right before that first Monday and you don't have anything really solid down because you didn't do the planning before break.
That's what I was like about Fridays in a way, was just getting ready for Monday. Same thing here. Work-life balance has been a problem in the United States, according to studies and blah, blah, blah. And teachers know it for sure.
Well, and it's even more now because now there's so much more that they have to be prepared for the next day. And so, I understand that there's still going to be worry. But if it's one less thing that they need to worry about,
Yeah.
then, it makes Monday a little bit easier to walk into than usual,
Well, that's the problem. Business as usual, huh?
whatever that looks like.
Well, business as usual is probably stressing a lot of teachers out.
It really is.
Yeah, we could, this next week, set you up with little Edu protocols for January, maybe.
All you have to do is ask. We'd
That's
be
right.
more than happy
We're
to
here
come
to
out and help you out.
Some of the greatest things I ever did as an instructional coach were the Edu protocols, no doubt.
It's funny because when people ask me about Edu protocols and they say, do they really work? And my general response is, I wish I had them when I was in the classroom, because there would have been, and a lot of the stuff that are Edu protocols at some point, at some way, was being used, but not to fidelity. And I wish I would have had them.
And we probably had some of our own protocols, and
Yeah.
I wish I would have written a book about them.
John Crippo beat us to
Yeah,
it.
in a way, it's-
John Carippo, I'd be
Jeez, John.
flying all over the United States training teachers how to use my old protocols.
Yeah,
No
the
kidding.
stuff really isn't new. It's just packaged in a way that's so easy and nice and makes sense and has a philosophy behind it.
But you know
It's
what?
great.
But here's the deal: we're now talking about doing school stuff.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And you can't renew. Go home for 3 weeks, spend time with your family, spend time with your friends. Try not to talk about school at all. Period. I'm going to bring up a story because a few years ago, quite a few years ago, it's probably 8-9 years ago, our grade level, I think some others were probably involved too, right around Christmas time. We all went out for our Christmas lunch or dinner, and we were at BJ's Brew House, if I recall. And we had a rule that you could not use any language that was school-related, the name of the school, names of students, you name it. And if you did happen to say the name of the school, you had to buy a round for everybody. And,
I love it.
Was it a very quiet day?
No, because we're all talking, and all of a sudden, the first person said tumbleweed. And you should have heard our table erupt because we knew we were getting a special Christmas present thanks to Alan, right? So it's nice. So someone had to buy that round, and we held them to that.
We did.
It's very, very difficult for teachers not to talk about school.
Especially when they're around other teachers.
Oh, without a doubt.
Well, and it explains why nobody really wants to hang out with us at parties.
That's why teachers always party with teachers.
Right. That's right. Whenever you see bunco, it's all the teachers playing bunco.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's true.
You go out to dinner, hey, they're all the teachers. Yeah, it's very true. So what we did is I sent out an email earlier in the week asking teachers, hey, what are you going to do to get yourself ready for the beginning of next semester? And we got a handful of responses, and we'll listen to them, and we'll kind of see what they have in there that we like, that we might want to take as our own, or as good suggestion for everybody.
Wait, you said getting ready for next semester, or I thought it was
How they're going to renew
They're
themselves.
renew themselves, so getting them ready
Gotcha.
for the new calendar year.
Refresh and renew,
Yes,
right.
refresh and renew. So this first one is from Amber at Palm Tree.
During winter break, I am going to take a week-long vacation to my home state of Washington. During this time, besides visiting family and friends that I dearly miss, I will also be going to some of the beautiful sites in Washington, such as Mount Rainier, so I could play in the snow, as well as visiting Snoqualmie Falls. This is how I will renew myself to begin the year 20.
And she didn't hit the 30-second marker, just went over it. So she's going to travel. I think travel is just an excellent way of getting yourself ready for a new calendar year, or just renewing yourself.
Believe me, I would love to go. I would love to go somewhere.
Melissa?
I'm going to try and take maybe a couple of days. So
Yeah.
I have to. You know, when we got that kind of time off, it's just I need to. I need to travel.
Well, you know, we're in a unique spot because you can take a couple days and go to the beach. You can take a couple days and go to the mountains. You can take a
Right.
couple days and go to Hesperia. Don't go to Hesperia. I'm just kidding.
I want to go to San Diego.
San Diego. There
I
you
really
go.
want to
See,
go to San Diego.
But if you're not from California, Hesperia, garden spot in California.
that's right. Here's Jeri from Quail Valley.
Jingle bells.
For my winter break, I plan to stay home. I'm normally very, very busy, and I have a great book picked out already, and I might even declutter a little bit, but I am going to totally relax and turn everything off. So, have a great break, guys.
She'll never turn off her bells.
No, she won't.
No, she's already
Christmas
told
bells.
us the day after Thanksgiving is bell day.
That's right.
So,
That'd be a great challenge. 3 weeks, get off your devices.
I think that is a great idea. I'm very curious. Just because she picked out the book, does that mean she's actually going to read the book? That's what I'm curious about.
I'll check in with her.
That's
Calling
right.
people out, Dan.
Here's Kamari from Tamarisk.
What am I going to do to renew myself for 2022? I plan to unplug, unwind, and be thankful to see 2022 because it has been quite a journey.
She's not lying.
Not at all. I think it's very. I just remember us in 21, and we were like so thankful 2020 was over, and then hit 2021, and we're like, can't wait for 2022, and that was like in February.
Yeah, and that's about the time I opted to say, you know what,
I'm out.
I'm out.
Well, this kind
Peace,
of
I'm outta
reminds
here.
me of the whole gratefulness thing. I know studies show and all that, it helps, but seriously, we've kind of gotten a reminder this last while about the big ideas. Like, if you see your family, you're happy, and if you're healthy, you're happy. Those are important things, and they always make me feel refreshed when I think about that.
Yeah, I think showing gratitude to the fact that, hey, we made it this far, and for the most part, everyone's doing all right. Here's Kathleen from Tamarisk.
Hi, this is Kathleen Heathcote from Tamarisk Elementary. What I do on the break is I like to walk my dogs, which has become habit. They now beg for it every night. And so that really helps me to get out of the house each night and rejuvenate. And it's just hard getting started. Once I'm out there, it's great. The other thing I like to do is connect with family and friends, people I haven't called or talked to in a long time. I try to make sure I reach out. Hope everybody has a great break.
Hey, Kathleen, this is Steve. I'm reaching out saying hi. Since you haven't reached out to me, thought I'd say hi to you.
There you go. Here's Loretta from Yucca.
Hello, Loretta here from Yucca, and this is my dog Bella, and we're going to spend a lot of time together just hanging out, reading, crafting, and I can't wait for my granddaughter to come over because spending time with my granddaughter just fills my soul. So looking forward to it. Bye.
You know what it is? The dogs got spoiled during 2020
Yes, they did.
because you were home with them all day long. There was never that anticipation of when's my owner coming back and so excited to see you.
People got more paranoid. Pets got less paranoid.
I guess so.
That's the way it looks, yeah. Here's Michelle from DGM.
Hi. What I plan on doing for my winter break is finally getting on a schedule where I'm sleeping regularly, eating properly, and exercising. And something I'm looking forward to doing is hanging out with my best friend. We like to spend New Year's Day going somewhere to catch the first sunrise of the year, where we plan on sharing our thoughts, dreams, and our thankfulness and what we plan on accomplishing for the new year.
Not that she's wrong, that she should be sleeping well and eating healthy and exercising, but boy, that should be all year long.
Yeah.
I know it's hard for a teacher to say that. It really is.
I know that there needs to be a point where you prioritize yourself throughout the year, and health is definitely one of those. If you can't be healthy, there's no way you can be.
Teachers are the worst.
Oh, they're by far.
I have to
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I have to say, I kind of like her idea of looking at the first sunrise of the new year. You know, I mean, and that's my anniversary, so it's like, what would be a great way to. My husband's up early anyway, so we might be able to do that actually.
So are you sure he's not going to wake up and just go, yeah, I've already seen it. I'm good.
Well, because I don't sleep in, because as I said earlier, I will be up that as tradition.
All right, we'll give you a Zoom call.
Making my huevos rancheros for New Year's Day.
And don't forget to share your hopes and dreams for the coming year.
With a sunrise.
That's right.
I'm just happy for the next day.
Yep. I agree.
One day at a time.
You know what? I do like the fact that she is at least looking forward. I think that is important as well. And then here's finally is Yvette from First Steps.
Hi, this is Yvette Shadrick at First Steps. And what I'm hoping to do during winter break is I hope to continue to do more of my exercising and meditation, which health is super important. So we'll make sure I stay healthy. And then just do the things that I want to do more than the things I have to do, which
Good for her.
can get taxing. So spending more time with family, friends, and just decompressing.
Yvette, I love that spa music.
That's right. Very zen.
It is.
I like that.
It makes me feel very relaxed.
She definitely found the music button on Flipgrid. There's no doubt about that.
Is that a new thing?
I guess so.
I haven't been on Flipgrid in a while.
At least 6 months.
At least.
At least. You know, everyone that we just heard from all has something really, I think, important for us to take into account come our break. What's one thing that, Jeri, that you took away from everybody?
Well, listening to everyone who want to have good habits now, and I was just listening to a podcast with James Clear, who I haven't read his book, but it would be great, Atomic Habits, and he points out that just showing up, just doing one tiny thing And then once you've started, don't say I'm going to, eat healthy every day at every meal, but just eat one healthy thing. And I thought that was really nice. I kind of started to think about how I could change my habits in a slow, easy way. And the fact that we're role modeling for our kids, for our students, and for our families, because everyone's watching teachers do what they do. And that's the most effect we can have is by doing it for ourselves first.
Melissa?
Maybe it was because it was the last thing we just heard, but I liked her statement about doing something that she wants to do as opposed to always doing something that you have to do. I mean, there's a balance, between, we have to get some things done, but it's really nice to say, you know what, I want to do this right now and I'm going to do it and it's going to make me happy. So even if it's just, like I said, going to get a cup of coffee by yourself and just to breathe, go outside, enjoy the air, and so.
And the sunset.
So
sunrise.
Or sunrise or sunset,
yes.
whichever floats your boat, and
just enjoy life.
And just it's not guaranteed. So tomorrow's not guaranteed. So just enjoy what you can.
Wow, that's good.
So do something.
The older
you
you get, you're usually in bed before the sunset.
Some days, let me
No, the
tell you.
sun sets and then I fall asleep on the couch. Wow.
On that note.
Well, I'm going to tell you
Right,
what I didn't hear any of those people say was I'm going to do some schoolwork. So don't do anything work related. Do something, as Melissa said, and they said, just for you.
Yep.
Whether it's a craft, read a book, have some fun.
I think that's important.
I do want to point out though, because I know sometimes, and I'm not telling people to do any schoolwork on their break, but I know sometimes I like getting new. I'm more open when I don't have to do any schoolwork. I am more open to ideas. So sometimes attending those like free education conferences and stuff, I can look at them and just think about them, watch them say, oh, this is get some validation. Like I already am doing these great things. But then just let it go, right? Let it go until you come back and then can look at it again.
Yeah, you may have a book that's
Right.
educational that you wanted to read for a long time and you're not going to do it while you're in the middle of teaching. This might be the time to do that, but don't sit there and say, I'm going to revamp everything I'm going to do before.
Yeah, read the
I
book,
get
but
back.
then don't sit down for 4 hours and lesson plan.
Oh, I got to
on
replan. I
the
got to
day before
incorporate
Christmas.
this idea and that idea. Why don't you
Yeah.
bring it back to your PLC and talk about those ideas back when you're in work mode?
Well, you guys are right, though. Validation, sometimes thinking about work can be good. You're like, I'm doing these great things, and no one thanks me, because we know that happens. A teacher recently compared teaching to being a mom. No offense, dads. And it's a thankless job. But when you realize what a great job you're doing, a little reflection gratefulness can be great.
One of the best posts I saw on Facebook this last week was from a teacher up here in Palmdale who talked about this one student who came in, non-English speaking, struggle, but on the last unit test, passed their math, was sounding out words and passing their reading finally, and how proud that kid was, realizing how hard he worked. Those are the things, that she posted, rather than and moan about things. Post the positive things, focus on those positive things, and you're going to feel better about what you do.
Yeah. And it's also a good opportunity to develop your personal learning network, your PLN, because you can just sort of watch what other people are doing and not really worry about, reflecting. And then just like with the book, get back in your PLC and start discussing some of the things you can
And
change.
stop feeling less than good enough, because I hate that. Always comparing to other teachers. Oh, they do a great job. They're perfect. I wish I could be like that. No, you're doing a great job. Your kids love you. You're making connections. You're doing wonderful things. And when you compare yourself to someone that you hold on a pedestal all the time, and that's where you dwell, that's not healthy. That's not true.
Maybe you should just try working with them.
Yeah.
If you think they're all that, and what's the rest of the
A bag of chips.
Yeah, thank you. All that in a bag of chips. I had a blank out moment. Maybe try work with them, having those discussions rather than looking at them from afar and going, I wish I could do that.
Grab a cup of coffee together and find out the reality that you do a lot of what they do already, and get inspiration from each other.
Yeah. On that note, a couple of updates we want to give you guys for our EdTech department. First of all, in the past, we've had a PSD Chromebook Academy Facebook page, and it was an opportunity for those that had gone through the Chromebook Academy to bounce ideas off each other, ask questions, give ideas to, or get kind of opinion on what new ideas, how it might work. We've now opened it up for the district. So do a search for PSD EdTech channel on Facebook, and it's still going to be a private group. You're still going to have to get approved. It is still going to be sort of protected, like we've explained in the Chromebook Academies, but we're now going to be opening it up to everyone in the district because trial by fire, you went through your own little Chromebook Academy.
Yes.
And now those of you with iPads can now jump in as well and ask those questions. So that's the first one. The second one is keep an eye out in January. You're going to start seeing some new PD popping up from us where we will be going live on a couple different occasions to be able to present some new stuff to you. Keep an eye out for that, and we'll go into more detail on that in the very near future.
Like how to use music on the new Flipgrid.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Well,
When I go to that,
I didn't know it was there.
I missed
have
that
to go
announcement.
look.
Yes, I was very impressed. And that was a first steps teacher too. It's not like, she's got her kids doing that all the time. I was impressed. On that note, Jeri, anything else?
no, just enjoy family, enjoy being, and stay safe, man. You guys keep washing your hands because we got to keep those good habits going, right?
Absolutely.
Wear
Melissa.
your mask.
Yeah.
Just wishing everybody happy holidays. Just love and appreciate the people around you, and like Jeri said, just be grateful and thankful, and practice that attitude of gratitude.
Mele Kalikimaka.
Kilikimaka.
It's
Did I say it
the
right?
same.
Ha'oli yeah.
My wife, if she listens this deep into the podcast, will be so proud because I totally butchered that.
Mele Kalikimaka and
All the
Ha'oli
time.
Makahiki Ho.
Yeah, whatever.
It's Happy New Year.
And for me as well.
Tiny bubbles.
Tiny bubbles. And for me, have a great winter break. Relax your 3 weeks, and we will see you and talk to you very soon. Stay safe.
Don't do work. Take a trip.
Aloha.
Netflix.
And
Chill.
that was ice. I mean, nice.